Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, this one's just for you guys, we're looking at the Mafex Justice League Tactical Suit Batman figure. I reviewed the regular suit Batman figure recently, and you guys were all like, you should get the tactical one, it's nice. And I was like, aight, and now it's here, and you were right, it is quite nice indeed. There are some drawbacks, don't get me wrong. We're still going to do a straight up review on this guy. We'll talk about the good and the bad. There just happens to be a whole lot of good on this guy. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6 3/4 inches tall to the very top of his bat ears, which puts him at a little over 17 centimeters. Now, before we get into the review, I want to tell you guys that if you are into Batman figures, I have a playlist for you, which is nothing but Batman-related reviews. There are hundreds of them in there. I do have thousands of other reviews on the channel, so make sure you check that stuff out too. It helps me, and they are all set up to help you. Alright, now let's go ahead and get into the figure. First thing we're going to look at is the aesthetic value of this guy, and if you are not blind, you are looking at what I'm looking at, and you know this thing is beautiful. It is gorgeous. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's just zoom in and let's just take a gander at all those deets. Look at the deets. They're sculpted. They're painted. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. It is so nice. Oh man, I am very pleased with this. Pleased enough that I might include him in a 2019 top 10 list, because that's when I bought it and it's my damn list, so I can do it if I want to. No, that wouldn't be fair. But like I said in my 2018 top 10 list, which if you haven't seen it, boop, it's better than the regular Batman, and he made the list, so this guy would have easily made that list too. The paints are just extraordinarily clean. Look at the little buckles on his thighs. They're very clean. It's like Mafex is making up for all the crap they did in the past by making good stuff now. Very impressed with the look of this guy. I don't have any complaints. I mean, it's an action figure, so obviously nothing's perfect, but I don't have any complaints. Aesthetically speaking, this is as good as you are gonna get at this scale. I'm hesitating on this since you guys make me do this rating system now, but I am very tempted to say 10 out of 10. So we're going to leave it at that. I'm not going to give you an actual rating, but I'm going to tell you, because here's the thing, it's a tricky business giving something a 10 out of 10. Okay? It's a tricky business, so I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to tell you I'd like to, and we're going to move on from there. So the accessories for this guy are plentiful. There are tons of them. We have 3 different heads. We have the neutral head with the goggles down. Then we have an open mouth head with the goggles down. And then we have a neutral head with the goggles up. And they all look reasonably good. They are not perfect, but I don't think that you're going to get much better on a figure like this. So that's very nice. As far as the hands go, we have the 2 fist hands that come on them in the package, 2 batarang gripping hands, 2 trigger finger hands, 3 more sets of gripping hands for various accessories, and then 1 set of wide open hands. So that is a whole bunch of hands. We have 3 batarangs, we have 2 grenades, we have a 3rd grenade that comes with a clear thingy to go on the stand to make it look like he threw it. We have a canister type of grenade, we have his grenade launcher, we have his zip line, and we have his grapnel gun. And we have a display stand, which I already kind of mentioned. That's a whole lot of accessories, and the fact that they included the grenade to be thrown, and we have just basically every accessory you could want, including 3 heads and a buttload of hands. I want to say he's got a 10 out of 10 for accessories. I'm not going to do it for legal reasons. Not really legal reasons, you know what I mean. But I would like to say that. I can't think of a reason not to at this point besides the logistics of giving things a perfect score. But that, as far as accessories go, that you don't get much better. Yep, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna do it. This is the first time I've done this, is what she said, but it's a 10 out of 10 for accessories. I don't think you can have better accessories. 10 out of 10. Okay, moving on to the articulation. First thing I want to mention, his cape. Not only is it a nice luscious pleather, but it is also wired on the sides, which is not perfect, because you do get a little bit of flop over here in the front because it doesn't feel like they actually connected the wire in, but it is more than enough to let the cape hang nicely, and you can still get it in some dynamic poses. So it's not perfect. Like you could, I don't think you could make it sit straight out like that. It's gonna end up falling a little bit, but it's pretty good. That is acceptably good. So, oh man, it's very nice. Okay, so for the head, I do have some issue with the head, only because the peg and the socket situation, on the other one I had some loose spots, but I chalked it up to just mold issues. But it seems to be that they actually engineer them that way. It's not tight in every position, and in some positions it's very loose. So it's not like it's falling off or anything, but you may notice that, so I'm going to point that out. But you do get a double ball peg for the head, which lets it move around wonderfully. And this is just another good example of why I keep telling everybody double ball pegs for the heads is the best situation you can have. It's perfectly functional and perfectly aesthetically pleasing. There's nothing wrong with a double ball peg head. And if you can do like they did and add a ball peg for the neck, it's even better. Now his neck doesn't move a ton, but it does move. Wonderful neck range on this guy. The double ball peg is wonderful. Very, very pleased with that. For the shoulders, we have a butterfly joint, which kind of functions as just a slip joint, but it's technically a butterfly joint. You can see it pulls out from the back. But you do have that. Then you have the ball socket, which the arm connects to, and then you have this. So this is still a problem, just like the other Batman. It's not terrible, but this is what happens when you have a ball hinge that's inside the shoulder cap, and then the shoulder cap is significantly bigger than the hinge. It looks decent when it's not posed, but it does limit posability a lot. You have to tuck things in and make it work, and it's not good. The joint should just be the shoulder itself, and that gives you full range and mostly the same aesthetic. So shoulders are definitely limited in that regard. You do of course get your full rotation. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow works very nicely. Wrists have a ball hinge, so that's all pretty standard. That's all good. The torso has a double ball peg, which just goes wherever you want it to. It's very, very nice. Could lean forward a little bit more, I guess, because it does lean back quite a lot, but you still get really good range in basically every direction. Then you have a ball peg for the lower torso, which is equally useful. This guy is just really, really exceptionally well done. Very good work from Mafex. Very, very pleased with it. Now for the hips, same situation as before. Drop down ball hinge. They are sculpted very nicely, so it does impede the articulation a little bit. Without dropping them down, you can't bring them out to the side. And even once you drop them down, they're still very limited. So be aware of that. Bringing the legs forward, it's not the best situation, but it'll work. You'll be able to get some posability out of that, and you do get a thigh swivel in there. So they're not the best hips ever. They look really good, but not very functional. Double jointed knee is fine, no real issues there. And then for the ankle, they went with a ball peg, which is never ideal. The other one had a ball hinge, which is nice. This is a good ball peg. As far as ball pegs go, I mean, it goes forward and back fairly well. It does go side to side nicely enough, but it's gonna be less useful than a ball hinge. So that's a bit of a bummer. Toe hinge is not very good either. So while the articulation is still really nice on this guy, it definitely has a few shortcomings. I'm only gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for the articulation because, you know, the hips are too limited. And then a ball peg for the ankle, while it's not bad, it definitely could have been better easily, like the other one was. And then the shoulders are definitely limited as well. You'll still be able to pose the poops out of this guy, and that's a good thing. And then the cape is done well too. So yeah, that's a fair rating. I stand by it. All right, so if you haven't been able to figure it out, this is a really solid release, guys. I am very pleased with it, and it's not just because I'm a Batman fan. I'm a fan of quality, and this is a quality figure. Yes, the Mafex figures do cost a little bit more than a lot of the other ones, but this one's worth it for sure, without a doubt. I'm gonna rate this guy an overall, without a doubt, no question, a 9 out of 10. Not only because he's Batman, but because it is a really, really nice figure. And I can't imagine anybody buying this and being disappointed. It is a superb example of what you should get when you buy a nice, or what should be a nice figure. They just really did a good job. I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure if you are into figures, you check out my other playlists. Like I said, I have them for Batman. I have them for everything, but check out my playlist, check out my other reviews. It's all there for you. Save yourself some money, buy yourself some figures that are of nice quality standards and enjoy that content. And if you like this video, if you enjoyed this content, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. And if you did not enjoy this video, well, you've already made it to the end, so I don't really care. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that, because like I said, tons and tons of videos already on the channel, and I have tons more coming out almost daily. So make sure you come back for all of that good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.